Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychological black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
All black. Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter. I'm excited about being here today. Come on in. Come on in. I'm just doing a setting real quick on my page, and then let me share this over here. All right, y'all. Okay, as you come in, I want you to make yourself comfortable, kick off your shoes, relax your feet, and party on down with Constance on repeat. So listen, I want you to come in and I have a lot to share with y'all. So as you come in, I know I have people that watch from all over the world, from California to New York to the UK to Australia, and I appreciate you guys watching me and engaging with me. I appreciate y'all being with me for so long. I don't always come live as often as I should or as I could or as I want to, but I made a concerted effort to talk to you guys because I really love to share information, especially with people who look like me, people who are striving for excellence, not just Black excellence, but overall excellence. But I love Black people and I love Black excellence. And I want to talk about something that I think is extremely important. But as you come in, I want to make sure that you're subscribing to our channels. I'm on about 8 or 9 different platforms. So subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen. If you are looking at if you're looking at me from the Fly Nubian Queen channel, make sure you subscribe over there. And also you could text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948. That's Queens, Queens, to 87948 every time you want to get alerted about me coming live. Also, if you're looking at me from my YouTube page, I am Constance Carter. Make sure you subscribe over there. Make sure you go cross-reference subscribing. Follow me on Facebook, everywhere I am Constance Carter, okay? All right, so let's get into it. I want to talk about Black debt. The reason why I brought this up, though, was because I was just looking at my situation. Many of you may not know. I was just doing some research today, and it boggled my mind. I'm in the process of purchasing a home. It's $1 million home in a really nice area, one of the wealthiest areas in Black majority neighborhoods in the country. And I've been in contract for about 4 or 5 months, since April. Thought I was going to be closed by the end of April, y'all. And I've been in contract. And the reason why I've been in escrow for so long is because there's an issue on the side of the seller. He got gravely ill, fell behind on his HOAs. And now an investor, the same investor that it's going after Kevin Spacey, is actually going after his property. So they went to court in June, and the court ruled on the side of the investor. So now we're in appeals, and we really believe that, because everything was done incorrectly and illegally and all this, and it's just a lot going on with some indiscretions that we believe that is happening, that is taking this long. But I think that we're going to prevail in a couple of weeks. What's up, Dennis Spraggins? Oh yeah, remember, every time I come live, this is a dialogue, not a monologue. So I'm talk back to me and talk black to me, because I'm talking to you about some really important stuff. All right. So as I was doing some research, because I'm looking in the court records and I'm trying to just kind of see what's going on, I see a lot of people in the area that are in foreclosure. There are, this county, in the DMV, in this area, there's a lot of Black wealth, which is great. I can walk out of my home and I see all of these beautiful homes. I see mansions. Some of my neighbors have bowling alleys. They have elevators in their home. My house don't got that. I'm just saying, some of my neighbors. Some of my neighbors are driving Rolls Royces. Beautiful. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be in the company of people who are doing so well financially. And it's a beautiful thing for me to be able to see this, for my kids to be able to see this. This is true Black wealth, Black excellence. So there's a lot of Black wealth, but there's also a lot of Black debt. That's what I want to talk about, is what I'm seeing in terms of the debt, because I'm seeing all these foreclosures. And when I did some research, what I learned is that a good portion of people here in this area, are in foreclosure. Everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses. Luxury cars are being repossessed at a extremely high rate here, and credit card debt is at an all-time high. People are living from check to check. When I filed bankruptcy, when I was 33 years old, I was making over $250,000 a year, $250,000 a year, and I had more month than money. I couldn't even afford to pay my utilities sometimes. So I get it. I get living beyond your means. I get being overextended, even when you have the means to. It could happen very easily, and that's what we see a lot. That's going on here. I see a lot of people who are doing very well. They appear that they're doing very well, but honestly, are we really doing that well? And when you look at statistically, black people, like we have a huge problem. On average, when we talk about education, a lot of educated people are here in this area in the DMV, because you have, the elite colleges like Howard University. A lot of people come from HBCUs. Everybody is in a fraternity or a sorority here, but we have more student loan. We have twice as much student loan than anybody else. We have $1.5 trillion in student loan debt as a collective of black people. That's a problem. So we're getting educated, but we're bogged down with more debt than everybody else. Okay, that's an important to note, because I had clients. Now, I own a real estate company, and I have clients. I had this teacher. She made 150, $200,000 a year, but she couldn't. I think she made $200,000 a year. Her husband she was a principal. He was a teacher. She made like two. He made close to 100,000, and they couldn't even afford $150,000 home together because they had so much student loan debt. It was ridiculous. The student loan debt is just crazy. And so people aren't able to you go to college, you get this American dream, and you can't even afford to get in a home because now you're over encumbered in student loan debt. That's just stupid. Black people also have a problem with we have these luxury cars because we love to wear our wealth. We love to look the part of having wealth. We get money and we do that, and there's nothing wrong. I want you to enjoy yourself, enjoy your money because you work hard for it, but know when to overextend and when to not. We have double the amount of credit card debt than our white counterparts. Okay. So we rely more on our credit card debts. I don't know if you know that the only reason why we are not as a country in a recession because people are living on their credit card debt. They're paying their bills so their bills aren't defaulting because they're relying on their credit cards. But have you noticed within the last several months this year, credit card companies have been reducing limits? I have limits that got reduced. I'm like, my credit is excellent. I make excellent payments. And I had a $12,000 credit card, and I was up to maybe 9,000. I paid it down to 6, and guess what? They reduced my limit to $6,000, which increased my utilization, which lowered my credit score. So there was nothing in my credit profile that said that I was in trouble. I made all my payments on time. I just paid it down, and they reduced my available credit. They're doing that across the board. People are over relying on their credit card debt, and that's the reason why we haven't gone into recession. But people are really struggling. They are robbing Peter to pay Paul. Black people, I'm glad. Thank you. With everything that's been put in front of us, 44% of us are still homeowners. That's a great thing. That's beautiful, even though 70% of our white counterparts are, but they haven't had all the discrimination that we have. But listen to this. As a nation, we would rank as one of the largest economies as Black people. Black buying power in the US is projected to exceed $1.7 trillion in 2025. You hear me? I'm going to say that one more again for the people in the back. Black buying power, spending power is projected to exceed $1.7 trillion in 2025. This spending power would place it amongst the top 20 economies globally, surpassing the GDP of many countries. Okay, so for context, in 2020, our spending power was greater than the GDP of countries like Spain and Mexico. We're doing a lot of spending. We are going out. We're having luxury vacations. I'm seeing all these people on Instagram with these luxury vacations that they're going on. That's awesome. Y'all living y'all best life. You guys are going to places that you have never ever been before, but you're doing it on debt. You are driving these beautiful, beautiful cars, but you're behind on your car note. You have these big, big, big mansions, but you ain't got no furniture in them. And so we're living far beneath our means, Black people. Even though we're making all this money, this is great. It's more money than we've ever made in the history of this country. That's great. But our home ownership is declining. Our wealth is declining. By the year 2053, they say our net worth is going to be a zero. Why? Because we have more going out than what we have coming in. Your net worth is your total assets minus your total liabilities. And most of us, our liabilities exceed our assets. So for example, say you have a bunch of bills, your car payment, your loans, your student loans, your mortgage is a certain amount, right? So say you have $300,000 in outgoing debt, but incoming altogether, you're only making, your household is only $100,000, and then you add your equity in your house. Maybe that's another $30,000, and then maybe you have some retirement or some 401k. Maybe that's another $50,000. You're still negative in your total net worth because your assets, your liabilities outweigh your assets. That's a real problem. So we got to wrap our mind around doing something different. That's what I really want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about the way we spend, because we spend it all wrong. We got to curb our spending. We got to start. We have this microwave mentality. We don't let anything. We get it right away because we can do it on credit. There's so many options. We learn to leverage our credit to do all of these things that we want to do. And then if it doesn't work out, we can file bankruptcy on it. We can do things under our LLC and our businesses, and we over leverage ourselves, but we don't know how to live within our means. Solomon Barrow, I was watching a Jewish gentleman named Solomon Barrow, and he was talking about why Jews have less than 1% of the population, but they have over half the wealth in the world. There's a reason, okay? Because of the way they spend, because of what they do, because of how they conduct business. And so, Black people, if we start to model ourselves after how the Jewish people model themselves, or how they do business, then we will be a mile ahead of the game. And that's what I really want to talk to you about. Yes, 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 we have this debt problem. Yes, we like to wear our wealth. Yes, we like to have fancy cars and big houses and overextend ourselves. Some of us do. But there's a bigger issue here. We were shut out of the wealth building process for years. We just got access. There's still been predatory lending. Last year in 2023, a bunch of banks got fined for predatory lending practices. We are still being discriminated against at a high level, but that's no excuse in how we spend our money. We got to do better in how we spend our money. Okay? So here's the thing. Here's what we need to do. Here's the way that we can reverse the Black debt problem that we have, and then we can increase the Black wealth that we need. How do we reduce the Black debt and increase the Black wealth? Okay, I'm gonna give you a few reasons, a few ways. Okay, number one, start your own business. Okay, so you have an idea in your mind, and now is the easiest time in the history of the world to start a business, because you have more power, more technology in the palm of your hand with your cell phone than they had when they put the man on the moon. That's real talk. There's so much information that you can get just by virtue of what you have in your phone, just by virtue of the information you have at your fingertips. You can literally start a business from your phone. Literally. I need you to understand, it is not rocket science. It's really not rocket science. You can literally start a drop shipping company. Somebody asked me the other day, Constance, how do I do t-shirts? You go on Shopify, open up a Shopify store, connect that to a Printful store where you do t-shirts. These t-shirts right here, I had them done myself. I uploaded the logo, put it into Printful, Printful, connected it to my Shopify store. Now I have a store that's selling t-shirts. So I make revenue selling t-shirts. It's that easy. On that same site, you could sell mugs, you could sell beanies, you could sell hats, you could sell shoes, you could sell sweatsuits. Anything you want, you put your logo, you upload it, you have this on demand, this print on demand. So now you have drop shipping that can boom like that. Now you're making money from your phone right at your fingertips. Maybe there's something else that you do well. I don't know what you do well. Maybe there's something else that you do well that doesn't come easy to everybody else. You can monetize your genius. I was showing the ladies in my cohort how to write books very easily, how to get them illustrated, all the things you could do within a week, how you can monetize that and have that as extra income, evergreen income when you're sleeping. This is something that extra that you could have. Maybe you want to write a children's book. Maybe you want to write a book about your life, and your life has been so amazing, and you want to write a book about it because you want to share your experience. You can do that very easy. In the Grow Your Money Club, I have go to growyourmoney.club. I actually have a training on how to write a book. You can write it and publish it within a week. Go to growyourmoney.club. See there at the bottom, and you can write a book literally within a week and publish it and have it illustrated. All of that. I show you how to do that inside that training. Perhaps you want to do a subscription service where you're sending maybe candles and items every month. Maybe you're sending panties and bras. Maybe you're sending sweatsuits. I don't know. But you have a subscription service that you're sending out products and services every month. Maybe you are a freelancer. Maybe you are an administrative person where you could do administrative, you could do virtual admin, virtual assistants. There's so many things that you could do to start a business right now, skill sets that you have that you probably think is not monetizable, but other people will pay handsomely for it. They will. I promise you they will. But you have to get out of working for somebody else and start really thinking about working for yourself. 80% of CEOs in this country are white. And these are CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. 80% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are white. 3% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are black. People hire people who look like them. People hire people from their own communities. There's nepotism. There's a lot of that. Trust me, it happens. How do you think people get into these positions? I remember when I was working at HP. I was 18 years old and I was a security guard at HP, right? So I go, there's this guy, he's sitting at the front desk. He's a blonde hair, blue eye security guard. He's just letting people in with their badges. Maybe I left, and maybe about a year later, I came back as an employee, as a different type of employee, a student employee. I was in college. I was 19 at the time. And I ran into the guy that was a security guard, and he was letting people in with their badges. And I was like, "Oh, you're not a security guard anymore." He goes, "No, I'm an engineer." And I'm like, "Oh, were you going to school to become an engineer?" He goes, "No, they just came up to me and asked me one day if I wanted to be an engineer, and I said yes." Blonde hair, blue eyes. Now, do you think that I would have been given that same opportunity just sitting at a desk letting people in? No. People hire people who look like them. People give more opportunities to people who look like them. So it's time to stop asking and begging for jobs from other people and start creating your own and giving them to people who look like you as they give them to people who look like them. Okay? So think about something that you do and try to monetize it. Okay, that's one way. You can invest in real estate. Right now, I am teaching a real estate training with Dr. Boyce Watkins. It is called the B1 Real Estate Mastery. We're only a month in, and I didn't want to even start the investment process yet because I wanted to get everybody set up to establish their businesses, because I'm showing them how to create sustainable businesses. I'm showing them how to, get their loans and all this other stuff. But we're already investing in tax liens already within a month of us starting this investment club. So if you're interested, you can start investing in real estate for as little as, first of all, you got to join the class, but we're investing in properties that start off at about $6,000 or $7,000 that have an after repair value of $150,000 to $200,000. So we're buying a property, say for $6,000, putting say $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in it, and turning around and selling it for $150,000, $200,000. Easy $80,000 within 6 months. Would that be cool? Would you like to learn how to do that? Those are the things that I'm teaching the men and the women in the B1 Real Estate Mastery training. So invest in real estate, okay? Invest in stock. Part of the B1 Real Estate Mastery group is Dr. Boyce Watkins comes in and he teaches us how to invest in stock as a means so that they can use the money to be able to put down on real estate. Also, as part of the B1 Real Estate Mastery Group, you get access to all of his stock training and stuff as well. But that's another way. The reason why I brought up stock, because that's the third way that you can really build wealth in this country. So owning your own business, yes, check. Investing in real estate. 80% of wealth in this country is generated through real estate. 9% is 90% is passed intergenerationally. So those three things you need to know how to do. Your intellectual property. There's something that you do well, and I know that there's something that you do well that probably some that comes easy to you that doesn't come easy to somebody else that you can monetize on. You can do that. You can have I have the Grow Your Money Club. I have a ton of trainings in there that generates income, passive income for me while I'm sleeping, because everything that I teach in there are things that I know how to do. You can do the same thing and create your own community because there's things that you know how to do that I don't know how to do. Think about that. How do you do that? Well, I'm teaching 100 Black women how to do those very things. Right now, they're writing books, they're starting businesses, they are creating their own communities. I have doctors, I have lawyers, I have regular people who work 9 to 5s. I have budding entrepreneurs that I am coaching and training, Black women from all walks of life, from all age ranges. But Black men too, the Grow Your Money Club, I have all kind of training in there that you can get where you'll learn how to do all of these things. You'll learn how to create your entity. You'll learn how to invest in real estate. You'll learn how to clean your credit. You'll learn how to build your business credit. You'll learn how to write a book. You'll learn how to create a course. You'll learn all of this stuff. If you're a first-time home buyer, you'll learn the steps to becoming a first-time home buyer. All of these things are inside the Grow Your Money Club. So for everything that I'm telling you to do, and I'm just thinking this off the top of off the top of my head, because I really came here to tell you, you need to invest in real estate, you need to start your own business, and you need to invest in stock. But I actually have solutions that I hadn't even thought about, but I have solutions to all of those things. For Black women, I'm teaching them how to build businesses. I'm teaching them how to create communities. I'm teaching them how to invest in stock. In the Grow Your Money Club, everybody has access to that. You have access to all of those things. For real estate, we have the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training where you can be live with me every week, where I'm teaching you, I'm giving you hands-on guidance on how to invest in real estate. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a cannabis investor. I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. I do all these things. And what I've done is, from my experience of over 20 plus years in doing this, I am now teaching other people how to do the same thing. So what is that thing that you have, maybe 20 years of experience, maybe 10 years of experience, that you know that you've done your whole life, that you can also monetize? That's the only way that we're going to get out of this Black debt that we're in. I don't want to say Black debt, but Black debt, because if we want to talk about Black wealth, our Black debt is higher, is greater than our Black wealth. So how do we change the narrative? Doing those three things. But the biggest of all of those, the fourth thing, is practice collective economics. Do business with people who look like you. Solomon Barrow, the Jewish gentleman that I had mentioned earlier, I didn't finish completing my sentence. But one of the things he said is the reason why we have all this wealth, the reason why we maintain this wealth, is because we practice collective economics. We don't do business with anybody else until we do business with each other first. Now we have us that like to go outside, because remember, during Black Wall Street, during the Greenwood Project in Tulsa, Oklahoma, what happened? The dollar circulated a year before it left the community. Over 600 businesses, they were able to do business with each other, with themselves. Integration was one of the worst things that happened to Black America. Why? Because when we no longer had to do business with each other, we stopped doing business with each other. And we started doing business with everybody else. And that's why the dollar today circulates 6 hours before it leaves our community, as opposed to everybody else that does business with themselves. Hispanics do business with themselves. Whites do business with themselves. Jewish do business with themselves. Arabics do business with themselves. Indians and Asians do business with themselves first. We're the only group of people who don't. So as Solomon Barrow said, the reason why Jews are half a percent of the population, but have over half the wealth in the world, is because they choose to do business with each other first. They talk business at the dinner table. Are you talking business with your children at the business table? What legacy are you instilling in them? And even if you don't know business, talk business with them. You got Chat GPT. I don't know if you guys know about Chat GPT, but if you don't have it, you need to go get it because that is the end all be all to everything. That's going to be the thing that could help you to make millions. And inside the Grow Your Money Club, I actually have trainings on how to use Chat GPT, how to leverage it to make millions of dollars. Here in the DMV in the DC area, a lot of people have government contracts. Uh, I was at a conference last week. One of the things that they said is they have set asides. I already know that they have set asides to do business with Black people, right? So they have billions of dollars, like $1 billion to do business with Black owned businesses and minority owned businesses. But what they told me is that there are not enough minority businesses that are bidding on the contract. So then they have to give them to the non minority businesses. So there's tons of business opportunities out there for us that we're just not going after. There's tons of opportunity for us to make money that we're just not going after. So even if you don't have an idea, an intellectual property where you can start your own business, you can start doing business with the government with your own entity. I have a training in the Grow Your Money Club on how to do business with the federal government as well. So there's no excuse. We shouldn't be poor. There's too much information. We can't blame proximity anymore either. We can't say I'm in the hood because we got access to the internet. Just like we got access to scroll on TikTok, we got access to scroll on Instagram. I made it a point this week that I took all the social media off my phone. So if I'm on social media right now, it's because the program that I'm using it is pushing out on social media, but I'm not on social media this week. And guess what? This is Monday, and I'm off. I've already been more productive probably than I've been the last month. I'm guilty myself of allowing that productivity thief of social media to take up a lot of my time. So I made a conscious effort to not be on social media this week to really focus on my business. And that's the reason why I was able to bring this information to you because there is business out there. There are opportunities out there. You just have to be willing to do what it takes. I just gave you an idea on how to start a drop shipping business. And if you didn't see it, rewind this video. I just gave you an idea on how you can monetize your genius. I just gave you an idea on how you can work with the federal government. I gave you an idea on all kind of things how you could write a book. There's so much that you can do today to generate passive income. You can get yourself out of debt. There's no reason why we're going to have $1.7 trillion in debt. Our GDP is crazy. We have more outgoing expenses than Spain and Mexico. It's crazy. If we were a country, we'd be the fifth largest country in the world with our spending. Why do we have so much debt? We have a lot of money, but we don't have a high net worth. And so we got to change our thinking. Okay. Business, start your own business. And you are your biggest commodity and you are your biggest investment. So think about how you can invest in yourself and invest in the business. Sometimes I had to, when I first started my real estate company, I had to decide on if I was going to pay the mortgage or pay the lease. And the lease won because I knew that the lease was going to end up paying the mortgage over time. Sometimes you got to make those sacrifices, those short-term sacrifices for that long-term gain. It's feast or famine in these streets. And so if I can't tell you anything, if you start a business, it doesn't mean you're gonna just have this high trajectory. There was a young lady, I forget her name, Sophia, forget her name, nasty gal. I met her at Facebook. She has I think there's a Netflix documentary about her. She has a clothing line called Nasty Gal. Ended up doing like $50 million in sales or something like that. And she went up so fast but filed bankruptcy because she didn't have the proper infrastructure set up for her business. So there's highs and lows. Being prepared for the business is extremely important. So business, feast or famine. I told my daughter just got her real estate license in Maryland. And I said, you're going to have some really, really good months, great months. And you're going to have some really, really slow months. The trick is to make sure that when you have those slow months, you still got that money from those good months so that you were able to have it throughout the good and the bad so that when it's slow, you won't become desperate, you won't get worried, you won't get nervous, and you won't start making bad decisions because of the bad months. The problem with a lot of us, especially, starting off entrepreneurs is when it's feast. I did this. This is why I filed bankruptcy when I was 33. When it was feast, I was feasting. Started buying property I couldn't afford. I started buying cars I couldn't afford. I started living this life that I couldn't afford, even though I was making $250,000 a year. I still couldn't afford the life that I had started to spend on. And so it could easily get that way. I'm making all this money, but I have all of these expenses. So we got to think ahead when we're thinking business. But I coach people on that. I coach people. So if you're interested in learning more, first, I want you to text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948 so that you can get notified every time I come here, come live. Also, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking about Black wealth versus Black debt. Um, Make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen channel, and make sure you also subscribe to I Am Constance Carter and follow me everywhere. I Am Constance Carter. Like I said, I'm not going to be on in social media this week, but I will be posting content. I have another third party thing that posts content for me, but I gotta like really me myself. I get into those modes where I'm not as focused as I need to be. So this week I'm super focused. I'm not gonna be scrolling on Instagram. You're not gonna see me commenting on the shade room posts or anything like that because I'm really focused on my business. But I got a lot going on. But I wanted to come and share, some of the things that I was able to find just in looking at, I see all this Black wealth and it's beautiful and it's opulent and it looks great. But what lies beneath? When you peel back those layers, what's really going on? People are struggling, but there's no reason to struggle. So I gave you a problem, but I also gave you a solution. So if you didn't see it, rewind this. Let me see. Let's see. How is it possible that sisters are buying homes more than any other group in this country, but are leading the foreclosures? I didn't. I wasn't aware of that, Reggie. That sisters are buying homes and are leading the way in foreclosures. I wasn't aware. So, um, see, I do have a Shopify account. I haven't started yet, but I need help. I'm very good in arts, like you said, print shirts. So, David, the Printify, so Shopify with Printful, you connect Printful with it. If you have your logo, all you got to do is upload it and then you shoot it out to your Shopify page. Now, the only thing I could say about the Shopify page is that for me, and I'm pretty techie, it was a little bit difficult to to kind of edit and modify. So I had a guy that I got from Upwork, Upwork, and he designed my new Shopify page. And so you can probably find some, like even on Fiverr, Fiverr, you can even find people on Fiverr or on Shopify that will design your page to make it, more appealing. But Printful is where you can have the designs made, connect to Shopify, and you can start selling your products on demand. And also, obviously, Etsy is a good one as well. The biggest thing though is you could have the product, you could have the service, but if nobody knows about it, then you're not going to sell anything. So you're going to have to market. Okay. Okay. So as we see, it's so many bids posted a day, we wouldn't be able to obtain. You talking about the government contracts? There's tons of bids for government contracts, but that's the reason why there's such an abundance out there, and they have to go with the prime contractors because there are not enough minority-owned businesses that are applying for this. It's ours for the taking. So what do you do here? You go to sam.gov, you put your business in here, your LLC or your corporation inside sam.gov, and you can start bidding for government contracts. Bada bing, bada boom. I hope, Timothy, that it will sink in, and I hope a lot of us um, will take heed to it because there's too much out there for us not to have. But the biggest thing is for us to keep it in our communities, practice collective economics, continue to support each other, because that's the thing is we don't support each other in the way that we should. These other communities are buying first. You hear Boyce always talking about B1. That means Black first. Everybody else is doing them first, and we need to start doing us first. And that's the way to true wealth. That's the way that we are going to get out of that wealth gap. And that's the way that we're really going to change the dynamics of our community. What's up, Black Lexicon? I'll be on the Fly Nubian Money tomorrow. I'm normally on there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday talking to the ladies about all kind of good stuff. But I wanted to come to you, talk to you about just the stuff that I was just doing today, and I posted about it in on my Instagram page, and I think on my TikTok page as well. But check it out. I just want us to be aware of everything that's glitter ain't gold, and I know. I'm guilty when I look at social media and I see all the things that the people are doing and all the beautiful vacations people are on and all the everything that they have, and what we see is not always what it is. People have these beautiful Rolls Royces that are rented. People have these big houses with no furniture in it, and people are going on vacation and ain't got no money to spend on vacation. They're going on vacation when they last. So let's make sure we're doing things the right way. Okay. So, oh, Black Lexicon, he said, you love my analytical cerebral side. Yeah, because on Fly Nubian Money, we be talking crazy. But this is right here. This is the real stuff that if you've ever watched any of my videos from before, go to my YouTube page. I am Constance Carter. These are the things that I actually talk about. These are the things that actually I live by. These are the things that I do. So if you are interested, if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, let them know that I am the Net 7 Collective, which is my passion project. It's something that I absolutely love. I created something that I absolutely needed, and I'm coaching Black women from all over the country. And it's crazy, y'all. I'm gonna just tell you, I have a confession to make. I have a confession to make. Okay, I did pretty good in business. I made some pretty good decisions. I made some pretty good investments. I built a great company. I believe I'm a great leader. A leader knows how to have people follow them. I believe I'm a great leader. Made some good investments. I own real estate, own a cannabis dispensary, and I have some books out and all that stuff. I still get so shocked when I have these women who are professional women who come from, people in Minneapolis and people in Texas and people in Houston and people from California and New York, people who are entrepreneurs. I have NASA engineers. I have attorneys in my cohort. I have business owners, business leaders. I have doctors in my cohort. I have Harvard PhDs. Y'all, I got a PhD, a public high school diploma. I have no post secondary education. I've had some great successes, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm not dumb. I know what I know very, 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 very well. I know how to do some things and make some money. Money has never been an obstacle for me. Money is, I can manifest money, and I'm not saying because I got all this money, but money's been, I know how to get money. But there's other things that I don't have, and so having these women of such great intellect come to me to say, Constance, I want you to coach me. People that I've been to coaching, who come to me for coaching and say, Constance, this is the best program that I've ever been in my life. People who have worked with thought leaders from all over the world, who come in my program and say that this has been transformative for them. I could die today and I'm good. I'm good. And so they know that I'm a little rough around the edges. I'm funny. I like to have a good time. Don't take me too serious, but I know my shit. I know what I know extremely well, but there's things that I don't know. And that's the beauty of having all of these brilliant minds from all walks of life come in, is because I know how to inspire them to empower one another to work together in a synergistic manner so that they can help each other. To have like-minded women from all walks of life to be able to pour into each other is amazing. And to be able to see me sit on the front row and see the growth and see the things that they do in the world, oh my God, I could die today and I could die a happy woman. Real talk. So that's what the Net 7 Collective is. If you know a woman, a Black woman, or if you are a Black woman, we're on the 4th cohort right now. The 5th cohort will start in January. And I'll be, if you're interested in talking to me about what that looks like, me coaching you into your next go to bookwithconstance.com. That's Book with Constance. Let me find my banner. Bookwithconstance.com, and we could talk about what that looks like for you. Everyone is not a good fit, and so there are people that did not make the cut, and that's okay. And there are people that did make the cut, and there are people who wanted to make the cut but they couldn't, and there are people who weren't interested, and that's fine too. So it's just a variable, but I'm just telling you that everybody who applies does not get in, because it's an exclusive cohort. That synergy is extremely important to me. Energy is extremely important to me, and wealth being a holistic experience. It's not just about the money, because I can show you how to get the money, but really understanding how to keep the money and being of the mind of that we're working together. Because there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, you got to go together. And so having a team of women where iron sharpens iron. It's amazing. So if you know anybody who's interested in the fifth cohort, that's going to be starting in January, they can holler at me. They can get on the wait list for now. And we're changing the world. We have an anthology that we're getting ready to release, y'all. So I'm teaching them how to create businesses. They're writing books, creating businesses, they're doing all these things. Okay. But again, remember I said I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, and I'm not an ideation person. I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not the big ideation person, so I don't have the ideas. I'm an executor. I execute out the hell of some things. So even with the Shopify thing that I was talking about earlier, right? Somebody said, "Hey, you have all these great quotes. You should do T-shirts." And I was like, "Okay." So I figured out how to do T-shirts, and that's where the Shopify came in, and the Printful came in, and I started selling T-shirts, and I make money doing that. So I'm not the big ideation person. So in one of our meetings and one of our trainings, I'm teaching them how to speak. So one of the things, I speak all over the world too. So I'm teaching them how to and Lisa Nichols, one of the greatest speakers in the world, trained me. So I'm teaching them that method, how to do a keynote, how to do a pitch, a 30-second pitch, how to do a 3-minute speech, all these things. And somebody said, and I'm telling them how to tell their story, and I'm showing them how to do all that stuff. And somebody said, Kamika said, we should do an anthology. And I was like, huh, because all of these women have such amazing stories. And so I was like, that's a great idea. Wasn't my idea, but now we have the Net 7 Collective anthology called Unbreakable that we will be releasing at the end of the year. And this is a collection of stories of the women. And when I tell you these women to go from where, y'all, I just need you to understand the strength, the resilience that these women had, and the inspiration that you're going to get from their lives is transformational. So we're doing that. So that's another thing that we just added to the Net 7 Collective, is creating an anthology, a book, a collection of stories from all these women to share their experiences, but not only just share their experiences, because I don't want to take you to the trauma. I was I was reading my draft to my daughter the other day, and she was just like, and I was like, oh, I didn't come out. I didn't come out high enough. I was going through the lows, but I didn't come out high enough. Okay, so I had to rewrite. I had to rewrite my part. So, but we're talking about what we've been through as people, as women. Whatever we've been through. But the biggest thing is how it's helped us today, where we're at today as a result of it, and it's going to be amazing. So that'll be something for the next cohort as well. We'll do a book with that cohort as well. And then going forward. So it's going to be amazing. I am looking forward to it. So if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman that's interested, go to bookwithconstance.com. That's bookwithconstance.com to be a part of the Net 7 Collective. Bookwithconstance.com. Boom. Or you go to my website. Let me see if there's any more. You think I didn't know that about you already? Is that what you said, Black Lexicon? I'm the toolbox, babe? Okay. So first of all, Boyce Watkins wasn't involved in the Tulsa real estate scam. That was Jay Morrison. Boyce Watkins was actually an investor, and he endorsed the Tulsa real estate thing, but he wasn't a part of it. He wasn't an owner in it, but he did endorse it because he thought it was a good idea. Like a lot of us thought it was a good idea. I didn't invest in it, but he thought it was a good idea, but he was not a part of it. So, all right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Fly Nubian Money at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And then I might decide to go live tomorrow too if I have something profound that comes up while I'm not on social media. But I appreciate y'all. Take care and God bless. Peace out.